Welcome to 2023, new year. We've got some new Cyber Clydesdale to show you. Over here we've got our stock standard two-wheel Cyber Clydesdale as you're familiar with. On this side here we've got our new release, our X4, which is by 4, so 4-wheel configuration. And in the background here we've got our Mower. So let's go through each one of them. We'll show you the new little features we got on each one of them, and hope you like it. So firstly, on the Cyber Clydesdale, the two-wheel drive model, we've got a heap of little features that are just made a lot more user-friendly. Obviously we've got our fold-out lid with the battery, as always, and that is, I'll just fold it now, and that is for your counterbalance. So now, although it's got the BCS attachment on the back, it's still heavily weighted to the front, so you're not lifting up as you walk. When you put heavier implements, it weights it out perfectly. First thing, I want to show you more of the details of what we've been working on, the finer bits and pieces. Some of the more exciting bits, right down the back here, we've gone from a twist button to activating our controls to a press button. So this press button, when you press it on, it comes on. Let me just turn this on first. So first of all, we've got an on and off switch here. So we turn our on switch on. Now when we press this button here, you see we've got a press button with a blue light to tell you it's activated, and that activates this output here. These here are our new plugs for our motor outputs. So they're they've housed the 3 pins for the 3 phases, plus the ABC, the control cables, all into one plug, so you don't have to worry about getting them plugged in back to front. You can just wriggle them in and out, and they come with a dust cap as well to stop the dust from getting into them. We've also incorporated, we're going to power pole 75 connectors, and these here are for auxiliary outputs, whether it be for raising and lowering the tipper trailer or any of the other 3-point linkers or any machine. Also you can run your inverters or so forth off this. This is a straight 48 volt output. There's 2 sets there for the reason to be able to do more. We've then incorporated our 150 amp circuit breaker in here, so you can easily visually see it. If it's popped just like that, or you close it up and it's back active again. And on this side here we've got our RJ45 connector with a screw-in connector, so it's nice and dust proof and waterproof, and that just screws off to change your handlebars to a seat. We've also got down here our new foot twister for the handlebar, so if we want to move the handlebar direction as opposed to having to move down here and do anything, we can just reach forward with our foot, lean on it, release it, and it locks in. Makes it very ergonomically friendly and a quick adjustment. On our handpiece we've got the same controls as always. We've got our driving speed on our right side, our steering on our left side, and our driving direction, APU direction, steering mode, and speed for APU, all here on hand's reach. These here are on your thumbs, so in normal operation you can adjust them the whole time. There's not something that you need to move away from. And last but not least, or maybe most importantly, under the bottom here we've got a dead man switch, and so that's made so that as in operation you have your hand on there at all times, so if anything goes wrong you just release and everything stops motion. What happens is then to drive, so what we'll do is you'll make sure your speed is always down, always start with your speed down, dead man switch on, and then you can start turning your speed up. As always, we've got the beauty of steering on our left hand, so it's one hand control if you want. And then we've got our forward and reverse here, so we'll just stick it in reverse, and we can go like that. Also, if you want to go free steering so that you're not holding to it, you can push your footrest down, move the little cam locking pin across, and that disconnects your steering, so that now as you steer you don't have to move. So you can see the machine moves independently of you. So if you want to do a lot of abrupt movements like so without getting flogged around, you can do that. So now one of the other really cool features that we've worked on here is our hitching system. So we've developed a whole brand new hitch, and for that I'll unplug this so you can see you unplug your plug, and so I just give it a little wriggle to wriggle it out. We've got this cam locking pin here, and that locks it into place. You pull that pin out and your whole implement just comes straight off. With the X4, it's the exact same machine, the base unit is exactly the same, and you can interchange the seat and the handlebar as you would like. That's why there's an option to buy the handlebar with it. So if you have some paddocks that are really steep and you want to mow them or whatever you want to do, you can take the seat off and then insert the handlebar, and they can be exchanged rapidly. This has the 3-point linkage on the front of it. This here can be on the 2-wheel as I just mentioned, and this is where you'd use it for a dual configuration for your implements. We've got this set up with a snow blade right now, just because I think it's cool and I like it. And on the seat configuration, as you see here, we have the up and raising and the lowering of the 3-point linkage hooked on this on the front here. We have our steering wheel here on the left side, a dead man switch here for emergencies, and then we have our APU speed and our steering speed over here. Up on the right hand side we have our APU speed on the very first button, our driving direction on the second button, and our steering logic on the third button. As with this machine, you can turn the seat right around and so you can move your seat around like so, and then you can drive in this direction as it's mainly intended to do. On the back here then you can put your power harrow, flail mower, anything that you need to do on the back there if you're not driving that direction, and control arms all from the seat. The X4 has all the same operations of use as the Cyber Clydesdale. Battery box in the front here, connections are in there, plugs are all the same, and activations are all the same. The main difference with the X4, it can also be configured into the 2-wheel drive version as we mentioned, is the deck here. So this deck was designed as a multi-purpose platform primarily for putting your feet on and stabilizing the machine. However, in this compartment here, we've boxed this off because with implements on the back, it puts quite a fair bit of weight on the back there. So this here is filled with weights. This here does not come with weights, but you can buy weights additionally. You will not need weights unless you're going to be turning around and driving in the reversal direction. So these bolts here simply come off, you put your weights in there, and then you drop that back on to keep them nice and secure and nice and neat. This here works really handy to put any sort of farm material on there to drive around to your market garden, whatever it be. We made this with high clearance, even higher than the base of the unit. So if you are cultivating or doing such thing with crops where you don't want to damage them, spraying, etc., this here will give you that clearance. This here is our mower, as I mentioned, so it's a little bit dirty. However, this is the same configuration. It is very similar to the X4. The controls are all exactly the same. The 3-point linkage is all exactly the same. But you have the mower deck, and this is one of the primary reasons you need a dual output on your Cyber Clydesdale, because you'll be running 2 individual motors on this mower. Now this mode, one of the really big benefits of this mower, it has got 2 motors, which means it has no belts. So if you've ever done a lot of mowing, you know that the second largest consumable in a mower after the blades is a belt. So we've eliminated that altogether. We also have on the back the 3-point linkage, which gives us the capacity to use this for our market garden, and you can see we've got a ripping implement on the back there. So one last thing with our new hitch that we've got here, which is the same on the back as the front of the Clydesdale, we have on the bottom here a little tensioning bolt under the bottom. So if for any reason the pin wears out a little bit and you get a bit of slop in it, or it's a little bit loose, there's an adjustment pin on the bottom. You will adjust that pin up tight till it, the bolt, it's an M12 bolt, so you'll adjust it up tight till it just nips up tight and there's no movement, and then lock it off with the lock nut on the bottom. The front pin of the Cyber Clydesdale isn't the same, it's just the old school with the pin straight through the middle. That's only really made for trailers or for pulling random stuff. It's not an active hitch as the front on the 3-point linkage and the back on the standard part. So they're just made to put your trailer in there and put a pin through, and that's it.